we immediately started hearing from not only people that are connected to Durk, but like executives in the music industry. People were just reaching out to us, go, you know the government's wrong, right? You do know that music, you don't go into a studio on a Saturday and produce a song on Monday. And then we started doing our homework, interviewing the producers, and found out that that song and the Durk part of it was done 7 months beforehand. So unless he had
an NBA young boy as well.
You know, everybody say, man, be careful with Vlad videos and shit, because man, they gonna do what they gonna do. I'm here to bring it to y'all. And I don't know why Trenches News think that Drew Finland is not the guy. Let me tell you something about lawyers. These so-called good lawyers. There is no such thing. And what I mean by that is, it ain't about what you know. It's always who you know. Drew may not know anybody in that courtroom, meaning like the judge, the DA, but one of his buddies do. And you be like, oh, holler at them and woo, woo, woo. And that's how shit happens. And it happening every day in these courtrooms. And we're thinking, oh, he's a good lawyer. Ain't none of these lawyers good. Or district, it's all about who you know.
Now, which case was it? Was it the gun case and the drug case, or?
I represented him in the Baton Rouge gun case.
Okay. That's when he was filming the music video in front of his grandfather's house?
Yeah. The Utah drug case.
Right. That's with the prescription
and
pills.
The Utah gun case.
They went into his house and found a gun.
And Vlad, wait, my co-counsel?
Yes.
Yeah, you see what I'm saying? You see what he kept on, listen to Drew, y'all. And the guys that be going up there needs to pay attention. Look how Drew answers this.
And in Dubai.
Well, the irony of this case, because the way the government is trying to present this is that this is all fallout from the Lil Durk NBA young boy beef. And what's interesting is that you actually were representing NBA young boy as well.
Mm-hmm.
Now, which case was it? Was it the gun case and the drug case, or?
Listen how, pay attention to Drew.
I represented him in the Baton Rouge gun case.
Okay. That's when he was filming the music video in front of his grandfather's house?
Yeah. The Utah drug case.
Right. That's with the prescription pills.
And the Utah gun case.
They went into his house and found a gun.
And Vlad, wait, my co-counsel?
Yes, I am.
You see what I'm saying? like, what the fuck you, my paralegal? Like, you all in my shit. And Drew will laugh, but really, that's a very sarcastic moment that they're having right now. And they'll laugh it off.
Okay. Now, he's actually out now.
He is.
Right. How did you manage to take all these cases that are relatively serious, each one of them, right?
Yeah.
Because wasn't he facing like each drug case, in terms of the pills, each one of them had like a charge associated with him. There's a whole bunch of charges.
Yeah.
So if he just got a public defender, he was potentially facing, 20 years or something of that sort?
Yeah, it was enormous.
It was enormous. How did you get that down to, how much time did he get?
Oh my gosh.
Good answer, Drew. Good answer.
Now you got me like 27 months, 24 months? I can't remember time.
Okay,
he was
like
already
2
in.
years. Yeah, like 2 years.
Yeah, it was like 2 years and he was in. And then we were able to go and get him the extra 93 days. There was a 93-day issue that had to do with a traffic ticket issue. We had to go back and we actually got him the last 93 days and we went to work. And then once we went to work, Vlad, and we started kind of attacking that case, we felt a swing in momentum going there, and we made the decision to see if we can rule 20 Baton Rouge, because Baton Rouge was so sick of him and sick of the case, and we wanted them to be sick of that case, and said just transfer it all to Utah and we'll take care of it. And we were successful. The case got transferred there. We had some good legal issues that were...
And once it got transferred, now is in the hands of his buddies. See, this how this shit work, y'all. It ain't what you know, it's who you know. Don't forget that.
And so I write a letter to, and it's in our motion that we filed. I do the responsible thing, very courteous. I send an email saying, hey, you all mentioned this, can you let us know? And we got some of these things, a couple of these things that you're talking about. And so what those are fan edits. Those are just people that are in their basements, in their garages, that do this every day of the week. And that's their reaction. And they're certainly entitled to express their frustration and even their anger at the process. But I do think that they express something that everybody in this industry is dealing with. And you and I know the cases that I've done where lyrics become an issue, and it leaves me scratching my head. I mean, you know, we did YFN's case, and they're introducing these lyrics and giving us evidence of lyrics that to me meant zero. The folks,
y'all, because if we keep going in this direction, we are losing the freedom of speech. You know what I'm saying? We are losing. And you can't make it good for this and not for that. So we just got to do away with it altogether, because I believe it's going to be done with altogether eventually, because it's like acting. Oh man, look, he carry guns. He's acting. I don't know what's the difference of rapping and acting. You're saying, acting, you're doing, and saying. You see what I'm saying? Or when a rapper comes out with a video and, you know, all of these guns and stuff are props. So you don't even think like that. And that's why Durk said, you know, and on Aha, you know, nothing is real. None of this stuff is real, y'all. So don't even do that. You know, we're losing that battle, that freedom of speech battle. We're really losing. And for those that don't like Lil Durk, that's cool. Everybody got their likes and dislikes of people. I don't know what he ever did to you, but y'all just hear these rumors. But everything is going to come out. And then I want to see what everybody going to say when they see Lil Durk had nothing to do with King Von's demise, only the get back. And I hope they don't even be able to prove that. You know what I mean? I hope Durk walks out of there a free man, which I mean, I'm like almost 100% that he's going to walk out of there. And the rest of the rats is going to stay in jail. You see what I'm saying? Where they need to be, you know?
I don't think it's got the steam that it needs to, but it feels good to know there's some people in D.C. that are saying, you know what, do we really need to do this? So there are people talking about this issue. California's a great example, and I believe that
and they're talking about this because this is what they don't want to happen. They don't want to go forward with shit like this, and then when it comes time for their peoples, and now it get used against them, and that's what they don't want. So you'll see them start some shit, and then they back away from it, because it's like slitting their own throats. It's like, you know that your peoples are musicians. So when they say this, that, and the other, look for a case to be coming. And it's going to ride because y'all made it ride with him. See, it's not good for the goose and not for the gander, you know what I'm saying?
Legislation was post-George Floyd, when a lot of good criminal justice legislation came about.
Yeah, look, this goes back into the early 90s. I interviewed a rapper named X-Rated who was charged with like a home invasion murder. He was a gang member in Sacramento. And ultimately they used some of the lyrics from his album to indict him, as well as his album cover had a picture of him with a gun to his head, and they're saying, oh, this is the same type of pistol that was used in the murder and so forth. Regardless of what happened, he got like 30 years in prison. He's out now. But, you know, when we broke down to it, he was like, these are just general gangster rap lyrics. It has nothing to do with...
I don't think nobody let Drew know that Vlad hates Lil Durk over a fucking interview. It's like Durk didn't let him cross-examine him, so he's fucking mad. Because he been wanting Lil Durk to talk himself right in jail. And he mad. But Drew, he holds his composure. I give him a shout out. And when he walks free, it's gonna make all y'all motherfuckers ball y'all faces up and be like, How did this happen? Money talks, bullshit walks.
What happened, but it's interesting how law enforcement will really piece together, you know what I'm saying, like after the fact, and say, okay, well, this is clearly that, because it sounds like that. But like I said, in this case, it was recorded before it even happened.
Yeah, so let's be realistic. And, you know, I try to be a student of these cases, and I know you are as well. We need to distinguish between some organization of 6 people doing home invasions and create a faux label and have one guy that goes to the studio 2 times a year and has 212 Instagram followers and tries to pretend they're a label. That's totally different than people going in the studio that are professionals, that are in there sometimes 20-hour days and you know, and doing and if I say it wrong, somebody help me. I think it's like what, the punch list method?
Punch in, punch out.
Punch in, punch out. Which, you know, here I am. I'm a lawyer, and I'm literally studying this. And at my office, because of the cases we have, we laugh.
I commend you for that. And that's crazy that they gotta waste their schooling over freedom of speech.
All the time. Punch in, punch out. I listen to it sometimes. The attorneys, I'll hear them in their offices walking to get coffee. They're listening to somebody say the same 3 words for 2 hours straight. You understand it.
Yeah.
But here's my frustration, Vlad. If Vlad understands it, to get ready for an interview and to understand and to prepare for an interview of Boosie or Durk or Baby, then why doesn't law enforcement spend time to understand that no one's sitting there writing this little line, okay, and then running in front of a microphone and doing it, but sometimes they'll say the same 3 words for hours on end and then match it up with different times they'll say those words and you know, match up the intonation and all that. I mean, I've made myself learn, and I cannot believe that at this point in my career that I'm trying to understand this, but it frustrates me that prosecutors in different cases around the country aren't doing the same thing. And so let me give you, Vlad, my example. You know, we talk about going to a grand jury. I don't think that any prosecutor in the history of this country has attempted to put in front of a grand jury DNA evidence without having a DNA report come back by a recognized DNA expert.
Now, y'all heard what he said, right? I know this goes over a lot of y'all heads, but a lot of my subscribers, they be on point, because I look at all the comments, so I know for a fact that a lot of my subscribers, y'all be on point. I can give y'all that.
Prosecutor in the history of this country has done the same thing with toxicology or serology. But yet, we'll put a cop on the stand on something as important as this, when someone is looking at spending the rest of their life in jail, and just say, yeah, this is where this music comes from, and this is when it was done. And I just don't think we should take things like that lightly when we're talking about impacting people's freedom for the rest of their lives.
Well, you guys put in a bond request, and the request is $1 million in cash, $900,000 in real estate, $150,000 from an associate, and 24/7 armed security and electronic monitoring. Is that accurate?
Yes.
Okay. How soon will you hear back on this request?
What?
Great question, and I alluded to it earlier. I think what will happen is we'll go to court in a week and a half, and we'll just ask the judge to review. It's the same magistrate.
And y'all, I had to chop this all up, because this is over an hour interview, and I had to chop it down to 20 minutes. So, big up to me. Subscribe to the channel, share the video, show some Lil Durk awareness.
Regardless of what happens, that hearing go quick, and then no matter who prevails, it's going to be appealed. 100% case of this magnitude to the district court. Whether or not the district court hears it the first week in June, I don't know. I don't control their calendar.
They got it all planned out. Like, look, Durk, yeah, they railroading you. Yeah. And what we're going to have to do is, no matter if you get found guilty, we're going to appeal it. And then it's going to go in front of my buddies. They just want to make sure I made enough money off of you. That's all. It's just a money grab. And I don't mean it by no disrespect, but it's a money grab because it's like a circle. It's like, okay, y'all get paid, I get paid, we all get paid. Let me let you get your money first, Drew. Yeah, we could throw the case right out right now, because we really don't got shit on him. But get your money.
And these district court judges are extremely busy. But the earliest would probably be for the next stage, the real hearing, on June 2nd. It could come sometime thereafter.
Okay. And what do you expect will happen?
I think that ultimately...
That's... Oh, man, we're going to lose everything, man. It's like... And we can't say too cocky either and be like, man, we're going to beat the shit out of this. You can't be like that. So you got to give a two-sided answer.
The district court is going to be the introduction of them hearing the serious parts of this case. And so I think it will be taken very seriously. And I'm hoping...
We got to give these guys respect. You heard what he said, taken very seriously. Like, we just don't say, wait, I'm going right in here and fuck them all up. No, you can't talk like that. Because, remember, it never really works off of the law. It works off of who you know and what you know.
Open for what's called de novo, which is a fresh review. And I think that Durk should get bond. I don't think that he is a threat to flee the jurisdiction. I mean, let's be candid. He's got kids. He's got family. He's got his mom who he loves. He's got his dad who he's waited until 2019, after 26 years, to have a relationship with. And that relationship got interrupted by COVID when we all kind of stalled for a couple of years. He is not going to leave
and
these...
That's the part that Vlad don't understand. See, Vlad just worrying about himself. Man, I ain't get that interview from Durk, so fuck him. I want him to spend the rest of his life in prison over a fucking interview? Oh, with the shit he said about Vlad, I don't fuck with Vlad. Like, I don't fuck with him. Damn, like, that wasn't bad.
People. He is not going to leave his family. He is not going to leave his friends. He is not going to leave his career. So I don't think that he's a threat to flee the jurisdiction. And by the way, I should tell you, at the original hearing, the probation officer, after analyzing all the evidence, found that he was not a risk to flee the jurisdiction.
Well,
Okay.
but wasn't the whole thing about when he got arrested, he had booked all these different plane tickets and so forth? There's like 3 different plane tickets
Yeah.
booked.
I heard, see, Drew know probation. And they said, all right, I'm going to look out for you. Wop. Man, we don't think that nigga going to flee or nothing like that. We ain't even tripping. But, you know, it's somebody else that NBA Youngboy, his folks know, and they're pushing for this. They want Lil Durk out of the way. So now it's going to come down to who friends with who. That's all this shit is.
2 commercial and 1 private.
Yeah.
Leaving the country, all 3 of them. Yeah.
So
I think that's what they used to deny bond, right?
Well,
partly.
Okay. And so same thing. It was incompletely presented. As soon as we got in and we did our due diligence, right, we got the complete itineraries. And the complete itineraries were all going to Dubai. And so they were just, instead of doing the first and the second stop, I think one of them...
Yeah, and they gonna tell it to the world. Like, oh man, he booked the flight over there. He picked the flight to Italy. He was trying to go anywhere. No, motherfucker. You know what that's called? Layovers. That's what it's called. It's called transfers. You know, like normal people.
For example, was Miami to Newark to, like, say Rome, and then to Dubai, they had it stop at Rome. For example, I can't remember where. And so we got the complete itineraries. Each of them ended in Dubai. Here was the problem. Each of them ended in Dubai, but they were row like 52 middle seat. And respectfully, it's Lil Durk. He's internationally famous. He's not going to sit in the middle row for 17 hours in the back of the plane. A lot of people would.
That's the part they don't tell Trenches News and the rest of those idiots. So you got low life that don't have a half a brain trying to talk about shit like this. Ain't never been fighting for their life. See, I did this already. Yeah, I did my 12 years. Feds. Did that. Did I beat them? Yeah and no. Because I didn't walk away without no time, but I was looking at a life sentence. And I'm home. Remember, it ain't about what you know, it's who you know. And that's the reason why I'm home right now.
It's just more of a distraction to him. He wasn't able to get that, and so the alternative of a private plane was booked at that point. So I say that because we gave that all to probation. And when they reviewed all of it, that's when probation at least made the recommendation to the court, which we didn't prevail, but at least they made the presentation to the court, having reviewed the real evidence that it wasn't a risk to flee the jurisdiction.
And that's kind of fucked up. Well, ain't no kinda. It is fucked up that, okay, y'all say y'all ain't gonna get this man bond because of this, and then that proves to be false, and you still don't do it? See, that's bullshit right there. And that's where it goes in, like, wait a minute. They ain't giving this man a bond with Drew? Somebody knows somebody. And that's the people that's going to have to get in the room, that Drew going to get in the room with them and talk it out. And they'll work it out. That's why I say, Lil Durk is going to walk, y'all. He's going to walk. And I almost want to put, like I say, the guarantee on it. But I don't want to be cocky.
How did the relationship really start between you two? He reached out to you? Was he recommended by somebody? Did you already know him beforehand?
You know, I have never represented him before. He clearly was familiar with me through a lot of my other clients. And it seems, Vlad, that my whole career is waking up at 6 in the morning and having 5 text messages. And that's like the story of my life. And so whatever time I woke up that morning, I had text messages from all different types of people requesting that I get to Miami immediately. And, you know, probably by 5 o'clock that night, I was in Miami.
You know, you got some money, whereas though you could put a lawyer out of state and that motherfucker jump on a flight for you. He know your money is right. Big up to Durk with that bag.
And of course, met with him, and we started assembling our team, Chicago counsel, LA counsel, and of course my law.
So why everybody thinking, oh, Drew is just a face, y'all? It's a lot of other motherfuckers Durk got working in the backgrounds. So you mean to tell me out of all the people he got, he don't got enough people that got friends in every circle? Durk's coming home. And we need to get ready to welcome him home.
Law firm taking the lead in the case.
I mean, you speak to him regularly, I assume, being his primary lawyer. What's his overall mental state going through this? Because clearly he's never gone through anything like this before.
This young man just, like, blows me away. His confidence in us, he is so polite, he is so respectful, and he ends everything with thank you, and not just like gratuitous, not
on no kiss ass, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. No, genuine.
Fake, but he's sincerely thankful every time that we talk. He's super attentive. He wants to understand, and he has been, you know, given the circumstances, he has been a thoroughly enjoyable as it can be to see him suffering, being in a jail under those
He's
conditions.
not in there doing backflips, but he got a good team, and that's a good feeling facing life in prison. But at least you know you got the best defense any man can have. Damn, that's a blessing from God alone. That is a blessing. Because we know how many brothers and sisters that's in positions like this, and they don't got that money. They don't got that Drew money. You gotta wait till he ready to do some pro bono shit.
I enjoy my time with him. He smiles. He smiles from ear to ear. He's just respectful to everybody on the team.
Well,
And we're gonna drop it off right here. I'll do something else tomorrow. You know what I mean? Like I said, I just want to keep everybody up to date on this and keep, hope and the spirit of love, because everybody's just counting Durk out, man. That's wrong right there, man. I thought it was, innocent until proven guilty, but it's like our own peoples is plotting on Lil Durk's downfall. And that's fucked up, y'all. We gotta do better, y'all. The Chicago Drills. And we up out this biatch. Subscribe to the channel, y'all. Hit the like button, share the video. I mean, it's free. Do it for me. Assalamu alaikum. Arakman to Allah. Wa barakatuh. Peace and blessings to all. Ramadan Mubarak. Let's get it. We out. Peace.